God said, I want you to leave that brook. I want you to go to a town called Zarephath. Now, listen to God's instructions to Elijah. Picture yourself in Elijah's position. You're all by yourself. God speaks to you and says, go to Zarephath. There's a widow woman there that will sustain you. In other words, but God said, I have commanded her to sustain you. So that sounds really serious. So let me just tell you the way I think. If I was Elijah and God spoke that to me, and he said, Dwayne, you go to Zarephath. There's you go to Alton, Illinois. You go to Wood River, Illinois. There's a widow woman there that's going to sustain you. I've commanded her to sustain you. Well, first of all, I would think, wow, if God commanded her, man, that sounds like that's a done deal. Obviously, this must be a pretty rich widow woman to sustain her and me too. So that would be my implication. Wow, that's wonderful. I'm looking forward to that. So in my mind's eye, I'm thinking, I'm going to go meet this rich widow lady. God's already commanded her to take care of me. So I got my need met. Here, we got this covered. So as soon as he gets there, watch what happens here. So this will help you to see why he said what he said to her when he got there. So you won't be thinking, wow, man, he's really selfish, thinking about himself. No, remember what God told him. Yeah. So verse 10, so he arose and went to Zarephath, and when he came to the gate of the city, behold, the widow woman was there. There you go, God, like God said. She was there gathering of sticks, and he called to her and said, fetch me, I pray thee, a little water in a vessel that I may drink. And as she was going to fetch it, he called to her and said, bring me, I pray thee, a morsel of bread in thine hand. All right, now people will read that, and if the news people had been there to see that, of course they'd say, there's another preacher trying to get something out of this poor widow lady. Man, he's self-centered, he's selfish, just thinking about himself. No, you got to see where he came from. Almighty God spoke to Elijah and said, you go to Zarephath. There's a widow lady there that I have commanded to take care of you. So why wouldn't he think that? He's just obeying God. So why wouldn't he, as soon as he got there and saw the widow lady, he'd think, well, there she is. Confirmation, just like God said. Plus God said, I've commanded her to take care of you. So his first thought was, well, I need something to drink and something to eat. He wasn't trying to steal anything out of her mouth. He was just following God's instructions. He didn't know that she didn't know she heard God's voice. See, he just assumed, like you and I would have. If God said, I commanded Pastor Dolby to give you some money when you get to town. Well, I would not be thinking,